What's the lads, welcome to Oak Swamp and part 35 of the Austin 10 special wrap. Firstly, as always, I'd like to welcome all new subscribers and thanks to everyone who left a like and a comment last time. Keep them coming. Also, massive thanks to everyone who left in the tip jar. So continuing on with the possible head gasket issue, what I want to do is pressurise the cooling system and see what happens there. So my mate Mark,
hello buddy, alright?
how you doing, Russ? Has got a kit he's brought over. What is this, Mark?
It's a pretty colour, friend.
Oh, look at that. Do you have water in it?
Yes, I did in mine.
Can you do it without water?
Yes. Obviously just pump it up to... It does advise don't go too nuts on the pressure.
What sort of PSI do you put in it?
I don't think it said much. I think it was between 5 and 10. And then they say just leave it on hold and see what it does.
Can you leave it with me?
Yeah,
or do you want me to do it now?
No.
It's just I'm busy today. Yeah. I'll make you a cup of coffee though.
Definitely.
So here's the thing that Mark's given me, and as you can see, it connects to the radiator up here, and then you've got this little pump here. But what the idea is you pump this up to 10 psi, and then you leave it for a minute. So what I've done is I've set a stopwatch up here. Right, you can see that's pumped up to 10 and whatever that little bit is. So that held pressure for ages. I mean, it went for 5 minutes and then I left it for another 18 and then it started to creep down. So it appears to not have a water leak. When it gets hot it could be leaking then, the metal's expanding. But I think what I'm going to do is sort that oil leak out and give it another go just in case. Okay, so I've bought 4 of these. These are Andre Hartford friction shocks. I've took them all apart and the idea is to make like 2 good ones out of the 4, and I think I'm going to do that easy. See, what they've got is this star washer, and that acts as a spring washer. Oh, and there's a bit, this would have had all the writing on you, it's just about make out the red on it. There's one wooden disc. What it's got is these wooden discs, and what they do is they rub them together to create friction. Now before I go too far with this, to do with this is put it in there. Right, what you got is these 2 bits and with the discs in between, you see. Now what I want to do is shorten this one. So if I cut this off down here and down there, bend a 90 on it. So that side goes up and bends back round, and this side comes back and sits on here. You'll see what I mean in a minute once I chop her up. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to lock this off, put a 90 off of here, just there, and then this side will just have holes in. If I put the shot together I can get this in its right place. Drill some holes into that. We had this piece on top of there, this is a bit of 4mm, and that arrived that there and there. Yeah, good stuff. So now these are in 2 pieces, it makes it quite easy. There goes the first one, followed by a disc. Then goes another disc, followed by that one. Right, so that goes like that. And the bolt comes from the back, comes through there. Now I need a new bolt for this because the original one didn't do so well on the way out. You can get every bit for these shock absorbers. They even make them new. and solid, and they're running nice and free. We tighten it up just behind. Pretty stiff, man. I think that looks quite mad in there. I know they're a bit big for what I want, but by them being more than capable means I got the choice. I think they're going to need to be stiffer at the back because the weight's at the back. Right, so this back bit, what I've decided I'm going to try is these are from the front axle, one of them, and these were the shock mounts. What I'm thinking about doing is running this like that, and then what I'm going to do is shorten this. And then I've got a little bit of a dog bone there. What I'm going to do first is try and get this rubber out. There we go. Well, that took some getting out. So now I've got to whop that off there and there. Right, now I'm going to weld that bit to that bit. Until I get a die to drop this thread down a little bit, I'm going to use this spring as a spacer. There you go, that's the basic idea. These rubbers are a bit sketch, but those shocks, you'd catch a glimpse of them through the wheels. That's kind of cool. How you doing?
Right.
I believe it's done, isn't it?
It is.
Did you have a hand in it?
I did it all.
You did it all? So how was it? Was it a pain in the arse?
Bit of a bugger.
Or getting them bushes out?
No, well, I drilled them out in the end. Right, so there's your pin. So as I say there, it's absolutely spot on, but when you pull it out, the pin is slightly bent.
What's the other one like?
That one's pretty well the same, really, to be fair.
That's like...
Got a slight bend, and they both got a slight bend.
But they can just stay like that, can't they?
Oh yeah, there's not a lot in it. It's 0.15 in one of them.
So all I've got to do now is drill these holes out, isn't it?
Yes.
And that's it?
Yes.
I'm going to be using this place more often than not now, because you're so close to me, and it's a brilliant job. Brilliant job. Yeah, nice one. Let's go and give you some money, shall we?
Okay then. It's a bit buried in here at the moment, but...
Upstairs at Ted. It's all happening up here, Ted, isn't it?
The company was established by my granddad in 1912. And basically, and we've always been here on the same site. Originally, they used to build bicycles. You know.
That's how most of them started, they weren't.
Yeah, well, there wasn't much around then. And then, obviously, in about the 1920s, when my dad got involved in the company, they started working on cars, motorbikes, and all sorts. And of course, in the early days, if you look at the garage that's in Montague's at Bewley,
yeah,
the oldie weldy garages always used to have a lathe.
That's
for,
right. Yeah.
For skimming flywheels, brake drums, you name it.
They were engineers.
They were engineers.
Yeah.
A mechanic was a true mechanic, and
not just a parts fitter.
Exactly. When I sort of came of age to do these things, I got more involved in engineering side. So he carried on doing his cars until he retired, and then we kind of sidetracked more onto engineering.
So do you own the building?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Well, of course, I mean, you know, it's been in the family all that many years, and it's sort of, you know, followed through.
100.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a bit more time on it, but
listen, I'm gonna we'll make it up on the next one.
Well,
we'll make it up on the next one.
That's what we do with clients.
Right, nice one, Ted. Thank you very, very much. You'll be seeing me again very soon, and thanks for the good price.
Okay then, Brian.
Cheers, dude. Right, nice one, dude.
Take it easy.
I'll see you soon.
See you later, mate.
Cheers.
See you, Brian.
There you go. That was a bit of a work-up for them, but a bit of a result for me. Now Ted did me a bit of a favour there, so I'm going to chuck him as much work as I can. So if you live round here and want some machining doing, please give Ted an email. It's in the description. Right, there you go. That's the kingpins. Done. I'd like to share this moment with Mr. David Harper from Scotland. Dave was with me at the beginning of this, and he's chucked me money in the tip jar especially for doing this. I got there in the end, Dave. Cheers, dude. Happy as a pig in shit. Right, So there we are. Now what I've got to do, you see in there, I've got to drill down in there just so the grease nip will work. And then, if you've been following the series, you'll probably recognise this piece. It's the steering arm from the Austin 10 I dug up the road. Now, what I want to achieve here, at present, the steering looks like that. The steering arm's at the rear, but when my shock absorbers come through, I want it to be at the front. So, if I swap these round, that'll go in there like that, which would mean the steering arm's at the front and it's on the right side. But one of these, I'm going to have to just bend round a bit, sort of like that shape, just to allow for the Ackerman, but we won't worry about that in a minute. So I'm going to try and get him out of there. There's no way to weld this, so... Right, I found the woodruff key. Look, it's just there, look. Now with this in position, I'll put it there, which is in the right place. So I need to get this off. Right, I found an old nut which I'm going to use for beating it. I'm going to give it a bit of warmth. See that slot there? That lines up with the woodruff key. I wonder what this other one's going to do. Should we try it? There you go. Bang in the right place. Right, now you can see what I mean. Steering arm goes straight back to him, and that pitman arm's off that Austin I dug up as well. And then I've just got to put the other one on and bend him out a bit like that. I'll get that one off as well while I'm at it. Nice bit of history there going on. Buried in the ground for bleeding ages. Okay, on to the tip jar. You guys were super generous last time, thanks ever so much. This week's tip jarians are as follows: Lars Eric Lundin, Jonathan Farrowell, Boyd Sargent, Chris Blade, aka Rangy Man, Casper Turin, Joseph Page, Mark Fisher and Kenneth Weeks. Now those dudes were all super generous and donated to the tip jar. If you too want to contribute to this channel, please go over to my homepage, bottom right hand corner you'll find tip jar. Tap on that, it'll take you to PayPal, and if you can afford it, bung me a couple of quid and that'd be greatly appreciated. Right, thank you very much Mr. Gorilla. What do I owe you?
400 bananas please mate.
Okay, they'll be in the post.
Cool, cheers mate.
See ya. Where do you get a good gorilla nowadays? A monkey's life for me. Oh, that's a bit easier. Ow. Right, are you going to be in the right place? So these must be handed, so I need to take the other one of the Austin over there. If you're new to the channel, you won't know about this. I dug this Austin 10 up in the woods up the road, and I've been robbing bits of it for that Austin 10. Think the nuts had it. Right, so I've got an idea. I've got an idea. What I think I'm going to do instead is I'm going to tap this pin out, put them in, then when it's tightened up, I'll put some weld around it and it'll never move. I mean, this thing's never going to have to come off again, is it really? You could grind the weld out though, to be fair. Should be good as gold. You hear that compressor? It's so quiet, isn't it? That little trundling away in the background. Bang on, eh? Haven't really had a chance to use it yet. But this compressor, the person who put the most money in towards this was my mate Martin Genoway, who gave me like 100 quid. So I'm calling that compressor Martin Just after you, Martin, anyway. Cheers, dude. Right, this is the track rod end, so I think I'm going to have to get busy with the old cutter on this. Yeah, it's alright now. Better get these buggers in there, haven't we? Now the rest of it's in here. So there's no fresh washers in that box I was looking in. So that means there either weren't any in the car originally, but I think I probably lost them over the time. I think it probably didn't have any in. I'm gonna have to look at the video, see what it is. So save waiting, I'm gonna go down and see Ted in the morning and see if he can knock me a pair up, and then I can get these puppies on it. So I'm heading back down to Ted's, and I've got Jeff with me, the ferret. And I'm going to get him to make me up some thrush washers. I can't say it.
Thrush washers.
Thrush washers. Oh, Moose! We're back again. Can't stay away. Oh, it looks like you're going out and meaning business today then.
Yeah.
On site.
Sadly, yeah.
Right, so I need some thrush
washers, yeah. Yeah.
thrush washer.
Yeah.
And I brought this just because it makes it easy. It wants to be exactly the same as that, but 3.75mm thick.
I'll get them done for you so that you can have them tomorrow.
Brilliant, thanks Ted.
Cheers. Cheers.
Right, so me and Sass are at a farm just near us, coming to see a car. There's a guy called Steve. Steve? Are you Steve?
Yeah, I'm Steve, yeah.
Hello mate, Brian.
How'd you do?
Hey,
How's
you alright?
Yeah.
Oh, what we got here then mate?
Well, it's 59 minks. MOT till next June. Want some jobs doing to it. You know, it's got a slight misfire and it's not charging. But basically, if you want to have something to play with, there it is, you know.
Good stuff. Well, we're going to have a look round this and see what it's like.
Come this way,
This is a solid old tool. I saw this last night and I showed it to Sass and she said, oh, let me have a look at it, because she's kind of interested in it. Did it start all right? That sounds all right, doesn't it? Right, what have we got going on in there? Loads of oil pressure. Right, it's column check. So as I remember first, handbrakes down there. Right, let's see. Well, it's doing that all right. Right, so I'm down picking up the beaver tail from Tom's. Dazzle's having fun with the P6. I told you this would be fun, didn't I?
Yeah, it ain't too bad, but it's covered in bloody like tar. I'll try to get all this crap off the welds with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very nice underneath here.
Is it not?
Very good big round.
32B body and a Lotus Eclat chassis. This is going to be fun. It's going to have a blown rover in it, but it looks nice there, doesn't it? There's that front end bringing forward in my eyes. What's that bringing to here? And that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to take the beaver tail and we're going to go and pick up that little Hillman Minx.
This is amazing, isn't it? What
It's
a
cool.
man cave.
Yeah, it's good in there.
Yeah.
Where is Tom?
Get his haircut.
Sass is excited about, she hasn't had a classic car for years. When I first met her, you had a Saab, didn't
Saab
you?
96, yeah.
96, that was
Yeah,
cool.
it's lovely.
Well, let's go and get this car. So Sass is right into the old vintage stuff. She's really excited about getting this, and I think it'd be good. I think it'd be good for us both. So we've bought it. Sass is excited, isn't you?
Yeah.
Steve's probably excited to get it off his property. Right, we better get this on, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yep. But it's got a strapper on now. Yeah, it's had new brake pipes. I think it's got new cylinder. Yeah, it's got new cylinders all the way around.
Well, the seals have been done. He put new seals on. He told us.
Oh, the bloke did what to?
Yeah, to MOT.
Oh, it's had new seals now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking handy, isn't it? Thank you very much, Steve, and hopefully we shall be seeing you again at some point.
Sure we will.
Cheers, mate.
See you all again.
I'll see you soon.
We went and got the minx. We went and got the minx. E-I-L-E-O. We went and got the minx.
Okay, so we got it home, and as you can see, it's got a charging problem. It's got lots of oil pressure, but the clutch is on its way out. So what we're going to do is, before we do anything else, we're going to whip the engine out and replace the clutch and replace the dynamo with an alternator and the water pump going. But take it for a little run, eh, Sass? Yeah. Now Sass is getting involved with the old classic car stuff. She's going to start doing a bit of work on it. This is a slice of the 50s, this is. What are you going to call it?
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane. Mary Jane. It looks like a Mary to me.
Yeah.
Because it's got, if you look at his face,
Yeah, definitely.
it's a bit Wallace and Gromit, isn't it? We're going to have a little play with this, aren't we, Sass? Sass has never took an engine out before, so
Looking forward to it.
get the gloves on.
Looking forward to getting my hands oily.
And then we're going to start on the body once the mechanics are done. Get rid of this goddamn awful light blue and take it back to the ivory colour it was before, eh?
Yeah.
Cool, more on this later. Okay, I've just taken the seats out and I'm going to take this body off because it's only on by a few bolts. Then I'm going to drill some holes in these. I'm going to weld up these sides and I'm going to drill some holes in this and here. We've got to get rid of some of this weight. I'm going to take this tunnel out, finish welding that up, and then I've got to weld up down the bottom here where this exhaust come through. But it'll be a lot easier without that body in the place. So I'm going to whip him right off. Then I'm going to whip Ian out, fix the oil leak. Because it's holding up the pressure on the cylinders and the cooling system, I'm going to give it another go on the hope that it's my mistake and there was some water in the bowl before. But as soon as I take the sump off, I'm going to see if it's got water in it. And it's really handy we got Ted just down the road. It's going to make my life a lot easier because he literally is only just 5 minutes drive away from me. And the barber's is down there and there's a good baker's. So it's a win-win. I can go down to Ted's, get a haircut and then go and get a cake. I'm going to take it off this time. It should lift off in one hit. Get the welding finished, got them bits done I can't read, finishing bits as I go. Beauty with this is it's a tiny little engine. I can afford to mess around with it. It's not going to cost me an arm and a leg in fuel to get set up. This is the problem I had with the hook. Couldn't afford to run it really, to be completely honest with you. And it sort of took the fun out of it a bit because I couldn't really use it. Whereas this will be just on the road for the winter. I'm going to be getting my sheepskin, but it gives me all winter to solve all the problems. Work my way through it. It's cute down there. There it goes. See how low it is now. Right, now I'm going to start drilling some of these holes. So I've got to take these back wheels and springs off. There's going to be nothing left of it, is there? But I've got to do this and then it goes together for the last time. That body I'm going to put over in the woods and let it see some weather. Right, that's where it's going to live for a few days. You got some brothers over there. There are these lads over there. soon as the Austin's running and driving, I'm wheeling this over, and I want to get this on the road as soon as possible. Plan is just to free everything up. All the brakes are in there. Check the kingpins out, check the wheel bearings out, replace what's got to be done, keeping all the same axles. This is a 12 horsepower, so it was quite a heavy car back in the time. And then I'm going to flop this body on there and then smoke it like it is. Little Mori, yeah? This is the next project. This is going to be my shop truck. So it's a 24 Citroen body with the Morris 10 chassis, and he'll have a flatbed on him, and he'll have a convertible top. And I'm going to use this as my daily driver. I've never had a car like this as a daily before. And then, of course, the old Froggy over here is waiting patiently to be made into a single seater with a straight six. Enough of walking around over here, as much as I love it. Let's get back to drilling some holes.
One sunny afternoon, I was sad in a bar when I saw a fat-ass mama getting out of a car. She was dressed like a slut from her head to her toes, and she was busting right out of them skinny type clothes. Well, I turned my face towards her as she came to the door, and I thought she was someone that I'd known before. She was dirty and mean, and her makeup looked bad, and she reminded me of an old fucking wife I once had.
That looks better. Right, now swap over and do the other side.
She came to the bar and I gave her a wink, then I lit her a smoke and I bought her a drink. We started to talk, she said she was 42, but when I looked in her face I could tell that wasn't true. Cause there's only so much shit that her makeup could hide, and I could see the grey hairs poking through the peroxide. The dirty old bitch said she wanted to pay, so I took her to a motel room across the way.
Well, there you go. A bit more sanding and cleaning up, and I think that's going to look bang on. And it's nice and strong now. Teddy, we're off to see Ted. We're off to see Teddy. So I'm back in Ted's. He's arrived.
Brian, there you are. 2 bushes for you.
Look at that. Excellent. Now I can get them done. Thank you very much for your help this
Have a
week.
good weekend.
Cheers, dude.
Enjoy yourself.
Right, so those old bushes, Ted charged me 20 quid, which I thought was ridiculously cheap. Seems they've just made them there and then, so I gave him 30 because he gave me such a good deal on the kingpins as well. a long time for these kingpins. It's been a bit of a nightmare, but hopefully I'll have no more problems. I still need a couple of bits and bobs for it, but as long as I can get them in. Right, first thing I've got to do, these thrush washers go on the bottom, and I've just got to take a little tiny bit off. Oh, nearly. And that's going to be it, this one. Oh dear, I buggered up the ID. Grease him up. Right then, my little chicken. Right, so I need some more of these nuts, and there's some felt washers to get on there as well, apparently. Right, so I bought new bearings for this. I pushed these ones in already. We did that up at Wayne's a while back. And now you roll this thing in. Tab washer there. Right, well there you go. This one's a bit stiff, I don't know why, but has absolutely no play in it at all, and it's lovely and smooth. Right, I'm just waking up this wheel bearing with a go of the big wheel. It seems to like it. This one's a bit freer. Well there you go. There's the kingpins and the front wheel bearings done. So now I've just got to complete this front end. I'm going to finish off these U-bolts I've done, get all of this bolted on correctly, get the steering finished. I'm going to lengthen that steering arm, work on these pedals, get them in the right position because they're just sort of sat in there at the moment. And I'm also going to put some grease nipples in the shaft there. I've got to do these UJs because the UJs are completely shot. I've got a few little bits and bobs to weld up on here, not much, just little odds and sods. Put all the brake rods on and we'll be smoking. Now if you want to see me do all that, I'm afraid you're going to have to tune in next time. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a big thumbs up and please leave me a comment. If you can afford it, bung me a couple of quid in the tip jar and I'll catch you dudes next time. Hang loose.
Not long left till I detonate. Cause the fuse is burning on the fate I make. Well, I know that you're holding on so tight. I've been avoiding, ducking, dodging left and right.
Fucking word. There are no thrust washers. Thrust. Ow! There was no thrust washers. Thrush washers. Thrush washers. Fuck's sake. Go over to my hip page. Yeah. I'll make you a cup of coffee though.
Definitely.
You want a cup of coffee, Mick?
No, shoot, I'll actually.
Fuck you then. Don't have a cup of coffee.
Alright then.
Now those dudes were all super generous and don't. Now those dudes were all super generous and Now those dudes were all super generous and donated. For fuck, donated. What the fuck am I doing? Now if you want to see me do that and get this motor rolling. Now if you want to see me do that and get this old motor rolling, for fuck's sake, Andrews.